All right, so next up, a bike that I know we both love too, and it's, in my opinion, the best bike out of the box. It's kind of the benchmark, that the high watermark of electric dirt bikes, Stark Varg.
The first time you get on this bike, you ride it, you can tell that there's been so much research and development done, and they really listen to riders with this bike, and high-end riders, like professional riders, but it's also still really fun for somebody to ride who is not a pro. You can turn the power way down. The geometry is awesome. It's not going to do anything weird. It feels super stable, and it has real dirt bike everything on it.
The Varg, I feel like, is the most just ready to ride from the showroom floor out of any of these bikes. And granted, it's one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive bike, but it feels like the bike that you can just do nothing to, and you're still in the perfect sweet spot of having an amazing motorcycle. You know, they clearly put a lot of professional fast guy, freestyle guys on the bike, and that's great for marketing. It makes the bike look awesome when you can put a super talented rider on it, but I still feel like it's like the ultimate vet bike, because it's just going to make every vet rider faster. You can kind of shut your brain off and just ride the thing without worrying about foot position. If you've got the brakes on the bars, you're not worried about what gear you're in. The power is always there. It's tunable if you want to have a slightly lower power mode to get more traction, or if the track is deep and you need more power, you can bump the power up. And it's just, it feels like everything is there on this bike that you need, and way more than what you need. And I feel like pro riders, of course, they're going to make it look awesome, but it's like, I think vet riders feel like a hero when they're riding this bike.
And the linear power delivery is what really blew me away on this bike. If you want more, you just keep twisting that throttle, but there's nothing surprising or unexpected with it. It's not going to just take off out of your hands, especially if you have it turned down to a reasonable power level.
And then they, did come out with the MX 1.2, which is probably what we should mention for 2025, because the original Stark Varg is, didn't come out in 2025. It came out in 2024, but they've refined it. It's still very much the same bike. Everything just feels premium on this bike. I've just grown to just appreciate how good KYB suspension is. This SSS stuff on this bike. We got it tuned with our partner, Tyler at Applied Technologies, and it was great before that. But once he dialed it in for my riding, at least, I could not believe how good this stuff was. I went out on the same track, didn't film this, but just kind of my own curiosity, and went on a certain orange bike that I love. And I could not believe how much better the suspension felt on this compared to that other bike.
And what direction did you tune the suspension into? More off-road, more motocross? Where did you go with that?
So Tyler calls it like the Corks setting. So Corks would be Colorado Off-Road Series, which is a mixture of motocross track and off-road. So it's not the full motocross spec, and it's not the full off-road spec. It's somewhere in between. And to me, I mean, I was riding it, and it was it just felt like endless. Like it felt supple, but then when you would hit like a huge bump or overshoot something, it just felt like it didn't blow all the way through the travel. And I cannot say enough good things about the suspension on this bike. The chassis also feels great. It kind of complements the two, but it just feels so precise. Like you just point and shoot on this bike, and if you're getting traction, it just gets where you're telling it to go, and it does it with ease. I just feel like the bike turns so easy. And one thing that I've come to really appreciate about electric dirt bikes in general, that the Stark Varg to me just nailed, is just throttle feel. There's so many of these bikes, especially lately, that I've tested that just have a little bit of a vague right wrist to rear wheel feeling. You just feel a little bit disconnected. I've never felt that on this bike. It just feels like your wrist and the rear wheel feel like one and the same, and your inputs are immediately recognized by the power output of the bike. And I wish every bike could feel like the Varg in the power delivery side of things too.
And let's also mention that this is probably one of the heavier electric dirt bikes out there, one of the heavier off-road 450 size motorcycles out there, yet it doesn't feel that heavy unless you're putting it on the stand.
Total. It definitely, that's the key point. When we got the bike and I was like, taking photos of it, I must have pulled it on and off the stand 50 times that day. And it was like, man, you really realize like how heavy this bike is when you're putting it on and off the stand. But when you're riding it, it feels so much lighter. And I know that's just like a common trait of electric dirt bikes. Like we've talked about that a ton. They just feel way lighter when you're riding it. But it's pretty amazing when you put this thing on the scale and you see how heavy it is compared to what it feels like. It feels like the lightest motocross bike I've ever ridden, but it's on paper the heaviest on the scale. So yeah, they've done such a good job just to make this thing feel nimble and agile. And it's just it's the high watermark of electric dirt bikes. Like you can't deny that.
And when you just look at it, one really unique thing it has going for it that other bikes don't is the battery placement. It's down low and to the front, but in contrast, that also means it's not a swappable battery.
And you know that they have put thought into that, right? Like they were going for the best feeling motocross bike that they could do. And when you make a swappable battery, there has to be some compromise there. They didn't make that compromise. They put a gigantic battery in it, but yes, you can swap it, just not easily. But I think that's a huge reason to why this bike just handles so amazing. It's purpose-built. It's not going to have any shortcomings for battery swapping, but it is fully focused on performance. I do want to talk about a negative on the Varg. Do you know what it is? Do you know what I don't like about the Varg, Brian?
Aside from putting it on the stand?
Yeah, aside from putting it on the stand. The one thing that I don't love about the Stark Varg is the smartphone.
Oh, absolutely.
It has driven me nuts a few times. Most of the time that I ride it, if there's one thing on my wish list for the Stark Varg is to just have a dummy display, even if it's behind the smartphone or tucked away somewhere else where you can do your tuning or whatever else you want to do on the phone and leave it away from the bike or just not have to depend on it. I just found that the phone was frustrating me more often than not, and I just wish that I could just set it and forget it. I appreciate the technology. I think that, they're smart for trying to innovate in that area. But for me, I get on dirt bikes to get away from technology and all of the modern BS that we have to deal with as people living in 2025, 2026. And the phone to me is just like, I would 10 out of 10 leave it. I want something that's just, you have the option at least to just go ride this bike and have a display to tell you how much battery percentage you've got and what power mode you're in. That's all I want to know.
And also the updates. And there were some connectivity issues and updates that just were frustrating, especially because a lot of times we're not within cell range.
Exactly. You're logged out. You need to log in. What's your password? This isn't working. It needs an update. I just want to ride my dirt bike, man. So yeah, best bike out of the box, roll it off the showroom floor, still going to the Stark Varg. If you made it this far and you want more, you can find the full episode of the eMoto Show by clicking the links below, or just search the eMoto Show wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if this was useful, please like and subscribe.